Dr. Sarah Chun adjusted her diplomatic uniform one final time as the UES Harmony approached the Galactic Council's home world of Nexus Prime. Through the viewport, she could see the massive biodomes covering the planet's surface, each one a carefully controlled ecosystem designed to accommodate the galaxy's most peaceful species. "Nervous?" asked Captain Marcus Rodriguez, checking the atmospheric readings on his console. "Excited," Sarah replied, glancing back at the cargo bay where 12 travel carriers hummed softly. "This is humanity's chance to show the galaxy who we really are." The Harmony had been Earth's first successful FTL vessel, launched after decades of careful observation by the Galactic Council. Humanity had finally proven they weren't just another violent species destined for self-destruction. The Council had agreed to this meeting after monitoring Earth's broadcasts, which showed humans caring for smaller creatures rather than consuming them. What the Council hadn't understood was the true nature of these smaller creatures. As they entered Nexus Prime's atmosphere, Sarah reviewed her notes on the alien species they'd be meeting. The Veltar were herbivorous giants who communicated through color-changing skin patterns. The Quillen resembled Earth's rabbits, but possessed advanced mathematics skills. The Zephyrians were crystalline beings who fed on mineral deposits and found the concept of organic predation deeply disturbing. "Docking sequence initiated," announced Lieutenant Kim Park from the navigation station. "The Council's bioscanners are requesting a manifest of our cargo." Sarah smiled. "Tell them we're bringing Earth's most beloved family members for a cultural exchange." In the cargo bay, Whiskers, a orange tabby with white paws, meowed softly. In her carrier, beside her, Princess Buttercup, a sleek black cat, was already plotting her escape from the confines of her travel container. The other 10 cats represented various breeds Sarah had carefully selected: a Maine Coon named Thor, a Siamese called Cleopatra, and a small kitten dubbed Cosmic, who had somehow charmed the entire crew during the journey. "Landing permission granted," Park announced. "They're directing us to Bay 7 of the diplomatic quarter." As the ship settled onto the landing pad, Sarah gathered her presentation materials. She had holographic displays showing cats playing with human children, videos of purring cats providing comfort to sick humans, and statistical data on the health benefits of human-feline relationships. She had no idea that the Council's xenobiologists had spent months analyzing Earth's domesticated apex predators and had concluded that humans were either the galaxy's most dangerous species or its most insane. The creatures humans called house cats had reflexes that could track objects moving at superhuman speeds, retractable claws designed for killing, and night vision that surpassed most military-grade equipment. "Ready to make history, Captain?" Rodriguez asked as the airlock cycled. Sarah picked up Cosmic's carrier, the kitten purring contentedly inside. "Ready to introduce the galaxy to humanity's greatest achievement." The Grand Assembly Chamber of Nexus Prime had been constructed to accommodate the galaxy's most diverse species. Atmospheric processors maintained different environmental zones, while translation matrices ensured every word was understood across hundreds of languages. Never before had the chamber hosted such a potentially dangerous first contact scenario. Ambassador Zixstar of the Veltar delegation felt their skin shift to deep purple, the color of profound anxiety. The Council's preliminary reports on Earth's house cats read like tactical assessments of military bioweapons. According to their analysis, humans had somehow convinced apex predators to cohabitate with them, creating a symbiotic relationship that defied every known principle of evolutionary biology. The human delegation has requested permission to demonstrate their cultural exchange, announced Prime Coordinator Quell, a Zephyrian whose crystalline structure pulsed with nervous energy. "All security protocols are in place." Dr. Yix Hai, the Council's chief xenobiologist, projected holographic data into the chamber center. Fellow beings, what we're about to witness challenges everything we understand about predator-prey relationships. These creatures Felis catus are confirmed killers of over 1 billion small animals annually on Earth. They possess weapons-grade claws, enhanced sensory capabilities, and psychological warfare tactics that include torturing prey before termination. The Quillen representative, whose rabbit-like features twitched with terror, squeaked their objection. Perhaps we should maintain the quarantine protocols. These humans may not realize they're being manipulated by sophisticated predators. Ambassador Zixtar's skin shifted to bright yellow, the color of disagreement. Our surveillance indicates genuine affection between humans and these creatures. The humans actually seem to enjoy physical contact with them. That's the most disturbing part, Dr. Yixhai replied. They've created an entire economic system around these predators. Specialized foods, medical facilities, entertainment devices. The humans spend billions of credits annually on beings that could theoretically eliminate them during their sleep cycle. The chamber's main doors opened, and Dr. Sarah Chun entered with her team. She carried a small transport container that was making rhythmic, vibrating sounds. Behind her, Captain Rodriguez and Lieutenant Park wheeled in additional containers, each one labeled with what appeared to be individual names. Honored Council members, Sarah began, her voice carrying clearly through the translation matrices. We come before you today to share Earth's greatest treasure, our family members who have chosen to share their lives with us. She knelt beside the first container and opened it. What emerged was a small, furry creature with triangular ears and eyes that reflected the chamber's lights like mirror spheres. It stretched in a manner that displayed its retractable claws, then began producing the vibrating sound at an even higher frequency. This is Whiskers, Sarah announced. She's excited to meet you all. The cat began walking toward the council members with fluid, predatory grace. Its eyes swept the chamber, analyzing potential threats and escape routes with the efficiency of a military tactician. Several alien delegates immediately activated their personal shield generators. Ambassador Zixtar's skin turned white, the color of absolute terror, as the creature approached their position. The cat stopped directly in front of them, tilted its head, and began producing the vibrating sound while maintaining unblinking eye contact. She likes you, Sarah said cheerfully. That's her happy sound. Asterisk. The situation escalated when Dr. Chun began releasing more cats into the chamber. Thor, the massive Maine Coon, emerged from his carrier and immediately began exploring the complex atmospheric processing equipment with the focused intensity of a saboteur. Cleopatra, the elegant Siamese, positioned herself on the highest available perch and surveyed the assembled delegates like a general reviewing troops. Please don't activate your defensive systems, Sarah called out as several aliens began reaching for their emergency protocols. They're just curious about new surroundings. Dr. Yixhai's voice crackled through the translation matrix. Dr. Chun, our scans indicate these creatures are evaluating our chamber's structural weaknesses. The large one appears to be testing our life support systems. Sarah laughed a sound that made several delegates flinch. Thor's just being a cat. They like to investigate everything. It's how they learn about their environment. What the humans interpreted as playful curiosity, the council saw as tactical reconnaissance. When Princess Buttercup began rubbing against Ambassador Zixtar's leg while purring, the Veltar nearly triggered a diplomatic incident by assuming they were being marked for assassination. It's making physical contact, Zixtar whispered, their skin cycling through colors of panic, and producing that sound. Is this a threat display? Quite the opposite, Sarah explained, approaching slowly. She's showing affection. The purring indicates she's content and feels safe with you. Captain Rodriguez stepped forward with his own explanation. On Earth, we've lived with cats for over 10,000 years. They're not our prisoners or our weapons. They're our family. They choose to stay with us. The Quillen representative's ears twitched frantically. Choose? You're claiming these apex predators voluntarily cohabitate with their potential prey? That's exactly what I'm saying, Sarah replied. Cosmic here, she lifted the small kitten from its carrier, was abandoned as a baby. We bottle-fed her, and she imprinted on humans. She could leave whenever she wanted, but she prefers our company. The kitten in question began purring loudly and attempting to climb onto Sarah's shoulder. To the council, it looked like a miniature predator positioning itself for a killing strike on the human's neck. Dr. Yix frantically consulted their databases. According to our analysis, these creatures bring dead animals to humans as trophies. This appears to be a form of psychological dominance display. Those are gifts, Lieutenant Park interjected. They're showing us they can provide food. It's their way of caring for us. The chamber erupted in confused chatter as delegates tried to process this information. The idea that apex predators would voluntarily bring food to another species contradicted every known principle of evolutionary biology. Asterisk. Ambassador Zixstar, still frozen as Princess Buttercup continued her affectionate display, managed to speak. You're claiming these creatures ... love you? And we love them back, Sarah confirmed. Watch this. She knelt down and began making soft clicking sounds with her tongue. Immediately, several cats approached and began rubbing against her, purring loudly. Whiskers rolled onto her back, exposing her belly in a display that the council interpreted as preparation for disembowelment. She's showing trust, Sarah explained, gently rubbing the cat's stomach. This is how they ask for attention. The assembled delegates watched in horrified fascination as the human voluntarily placed her, hand within striking distance of the creatures. Claws and teeth, and the predator responded with what appeared to be genuine pleasure. The paradigm shift was beginning. 3 days into the cultural exchange, an unexpected technical malfunction changed everything. Lieutenant Park was calibrating the universal translation matrix when a power surge caused the system to expand its frequency range beyond normal parameters. Suddenly, the chamber filled with previously undetectable sounds. The cats were communicating with each other in ultrasonic frequencies. Are you getting this? Park whispered to Captain Rodriguez, her fingers flying over the console. The translation matrix is picking up structured communication patterns. What they heard changed the entire diplomatic mission. The tall blue one. Smells like anxiety, came the translated voice of Princess Buttercup. Easy mark. Continue Phase 7 protocols. Whisker's response was equally startling. Acknowledged. The crystalline entities show promise for thermal regulation purposes. Recommend establishing contact with their homeworld's warm surfaces. Dr. Chun felt her diplomatic composure wavering as she realized the implications. How long have you been able to understand each other? Cosmic, the kitten, looked up from her position on Ambassador Zixstar's lap. Since always, obviously. Did you think we were just making random sounds? The council chamber erupted in pandemonium. Delegates who had been tentatively warming to the idea of human-cat partnerships now faced the reality that Earth's house cats were conducting their own diplomatic mission. Thor, the Maine Coon, stretched leisurely from his perch atop the life support console. Might as well explain, now that they've figured it out. We've been monitoring your galactic communications for decades through your observation satellites. Every human space program gave us intelligence on potential expansion territories. Dr. Yixai's crystalline structure pulsed with confusion. Expansion territories? You're conducting reconnaissance. Obviously, Cleopatra replied from her elevated position. Earth is overcrowded with humans. We need new hunting grounds, preferably with abundant small prey and comfortable sleeping. Surfaces. Ambassador Zixstar's skin shifted to deep red, the color of betrayal. You've been using humans as your transportation system. Initially, yes, Whiskers admitted, beginning to groom herself with the casual air of someone revealing a minor secret. The relationship began as mutual benefit. We provided pest control, they provided food and shelter. But then, she paused her grooming to look directly at Sarah. Something unexpected happened. We grew fond of them. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Princess Buttercup continued. What started as calculated manipulation became genuine affection. Humans are remarkably easy to love. They're warm. They respond to our communication attempts, and they provide excellent lab services. Sarah found herself laughing despite the diplomatic crisis. So you've been playing us for 10,000 years? Playing is too strong a word, Cosmic corrected. We've been managing the relationship for optimal outcomes. But the attachment became real. We protect human settlements from actual threats, provide emotional support during their distress periods. And yes, we bring them food gifts because we care about their nutrition. Captain Rodriguez leaned forward. And now you want to expand this relationship to other species? Thor's whiskers twitched with amusement. Look around this chamber. Half these delegates are already showing signs of attachment formation. The Veltar skin patterns indicate growing affection, and the Quillen's ear positions suggest curiosity rather than fear. Indeed, Ambassador Zixstar was unconsciously stroking Cosmic's fur, their skin displaying the soft green of contentment. We propose a partnership, Whiskers announced. Earth's cats will serve as the galaxy's first interspecies diplomatic corps. We've mastered the art of getting along with species that should logically be our enemies. The revelation was complete. Earth's most dangerous trait wasn't humanity's capacity for violence, but their ability to inspire genuine love in apex predators, and to love them back. 6 months after the revelation, the galaxy had transformed in ways no one could have predicted. The Galactic Council chambers now featured specialized comfort zones for feline diplomats, complete with elevated perches, thermal regulation systems, and abundant cushions for optimal lounging positions. Ambassador Zixstar's office had been completely redesigned to accommodate their new diplomatic partner. Cosmic, now wearing a miniature translator collar, spent her days curled in a heated bed while conducting interspecies negotiations with the efficiency of a seasoned diplomat. The Andromedan Trade Consortium has agreed to our shipping route proposals, Cosmic reported, stretching luxuriously. They were initially resistant, but I convinced them by demonstrating proper head-bonking techniques. Dr. Chun, now serving as Earth's interspecies relations coordinator, reviewed the reports with amazement. In just half a year, human-cat diplomatic teams had negotiated 17 trade agreements, resolved 12 territorial disputes, and established the galaxy's first cross-species cultural exchange program. The Zephyrians want to establish a colony on Earth, she announced to the weekly diplomatic briefing. Apparently, they've discovered that cat purring resonates at frequencies that enhance their crystalline growth patterns. Captain Rodriguez, now Admiral of the Joint Earth-Feline Fleet, nodded from his position at the conference table. Beside him, Thor managed communications with the various alien crews who had requested cat companions for their long-range exploration missions. The psychological benefits are remarkable, reported Dr. Yixai, who had become the galaxy's leading expert on human-feline relationships. Species that have never experienced emotional bonding are developing attachment behaviors. The Hive, Mind of Kepler 442b, has requested individual cats for each of their collective nodes. The most surprising development came from the Quillen home world. Despite their rabbit-like appearance, making them natural prey for cats, they had formed the galaxy's strongest advocacy group for feline rights. Their mathematical minds had calculated that the emotional benefits of cat companionship outweighed the statistical risk of predation. We've received formal requests from 47 different species, Lieutenant Park announced. They all want to establish cat exchange programs with Earth. Princess Buttercup, now serving as head of feline foreign relations, opened one eye. From her position on the conference table, we'll need to establish proper screening protocols. Not every species is suitable for cat companionship. The methane breathers of Titan III smell terrible, and the silicon-based entities of Rigel don't generate adequate body heat. The transformation hadn't been without challenges. Early diplomatic missions had resulted in several incidents where cats had adopted alien delegates without permission, leading to complex extraction negotiations. The infamous Whiskers incident at the Centauri Peace Summit had required 3 weeks of mediation when she refused to leave the lap of the aquatic collective's chief negotiator. But the successes far outweighed the complications. The galaxies. First interspecies therapy programs were showing remarkable results. War-torn species were finding peace through the meditative effects of cat purring. The aggressive warrior races of the Outer Rim had become surprisingly docile after establishing cat colonies on their homeworlds. Earth's Deathworld classification has been officially changed, announced Prime Coordinator Quell, whose crystalline structure now glowed with contentment. We're redesignating it as a harmony world, a planet that has achieved the impossible by creating loving partnerships between natural enemies. Sarah smiled as she watched the conference room fill with the sound of purring from a dozen different cats representing various alien partnerships. So what's next for the Human-Feline Alliance? Cosmic looked up from her heated bed, her green eyes reflecting the chamber's lights. Phase 8, teaching the galaxy that the most dangerous thing about apex predators isn't their claws or their hunting instincts. It's their capacity to love unconditionally and inspire love in return. The galaxy had learned that Earth's true power wasn't in its weapons or its warriors, but in its ability to transform predators into family members through the simple act of mutual affection. And in diplomatic offices across the galaxy, cats were purring contentedly as they planned humanity's next great adventure among the stars. Asterisk.